Hello everybody, I'm your host Sanj. Welcome back to the channel today. And in this video, I wanted to show you how you can build an AI agent system that can curate the very best YouTube videos, okay? I'm talking creme de la creme, the champagne, the absolute best undisputed champs of YouTube videos, okay? And these videos have been posted in the last 7 days, okay? So they're not historic, they're not, a million views from like a year ago. But what's great and what's even better about this system is that it's gonna use an AI agent to basically tell you what's great about this video. It's gonna read the contents, right? And it's gonna basically sort the videos using some really cool metrics, okay? So I use the system, I use it every week. It basically curates something like 500 to 600 videos and then it filters to the very best ones. And then every Monday morning, I have anywhere between 20 to 30 great videos that I can then look at. I try and replicate some of it, try and add some of my spin to it or some additional functionality to the automation. So this is the automation that I'm bringing to you today. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back down, strap yourselves in, and let's build it. I'm inside of the YouTube Sniper AI agent, and you can see that I built it inside of N8N because the previous video that I did for something similar like this in YouTube was built on Make. But I actually think that the operations, the way N8N handles the data is generally better, right? And it's less steps, less operations to build this, okay? So there's two parts to the automation. The first part is it will use the API inside of YouTube and it'll grab all the videos, okay? And that's based on a keyword. Then it'll grab the data, so everything that's related to the videos, right? Then it's using a code node here, and basically what I'm asking it to do is I'm asking it to extract certain metrics. Okay, I'm gonna show you exactly what those metrics are and why they are important, because this is how I filter the best videos, okay? Then the next module is an if statement, so I'm filtering out the best videos. Then we move on to the next part of the automation, which is the research AI agent. Okay, so I built a CRM inside of Google Sheets. You can do this anywhere, but I've used Google Sheets for this because it's just super easy. It will update the sheet. It will add today's rows, okay, and you'll see why. And then I've added another filter and I've called it the undisputed champ, okay, because you can see here that when I ran the automation, it basically pulled in 532 videos. So if I go into here and I just zoom in, you can see here that it says 532 after the grab videos node, right? Now that's pulling it all in one instance. Now, obviously all of those videos aren't gonna be relevant because I wanna basically replicate and create something similar to a video that's already killing it, right? And remember, this is set to the last 7 days. Okay, so it's very, very relevant content. Okay, so I wanna filter it going one step further, and I'll show you how I filter that, to basically find the undisputed champs. And so from like 532 items, it basically then narrows down to only 32 videos, right? Which are true, which meet my conditions, okay? And then these videos get plugged into an AI agent. And basically I'm asking the AI agent to basically tell me what's great about this video, what I can do, and give me steps for improving this video. Like what can I add to this video to make it better, right? Like, is there something I can do? Is there additional steps? Is there modules that they haven't considered or some AI functionality that, could make the automation better? And it will actually use the AI to do this for me, okay? And then it basically posts 22 items in this example. So this is 22 videos. I'll actually post it to my Slack channel, okay? And so every Monday morning, so I run this on Sunday night, right? Like at midnight Pacific time or midday Pacific time, right? So it's like, I think 3 a.m. where I am in Singapore. I will run this, and then every Monday morning, I've literally got like 20 to 30 amazing videos that I can basically replicate. Right, I can replicate it inside of N8N, Make, Relevance, AI, basically any platform. But in my niche, obviously, I'm doing no code, I'm doing automations, AI, so I'm sticking to those keywords. Okay, so that's basically the overview. Now let's dive in and build this system. Before we start the build, I just want to show you the CRM that I built inside of Google Sheets. Okay, so this is it here, and you just need something similar to this. Okay, and I'll explain the titles, these column headings, because these are metrics and data that we can grab from the YouTube API. Okay, so we've got ID, title, the YouTube URL, published at, views, likes, comments, like rate, comment rate, views per hour, added, date, so when it was added to the sheet, and then the video description as well. Okay, so the like rate is probably my favorite KPI in all of this, okay? And what that means is you take the number of likes, so column F, and you divide it by the number of views, so column E, okay? And generally I will filter, and I'll show you that when I'm doing the build, I'll filter for the highest like rate, okay? Because that statistically gives me a better chance of, you know, hitting the next home run. Now, obviously there are a lot of factors when it comes to YouTube videos. It's not, you know, just like rate. There's obviously thumbnails, titles, and all that, right? But I think it's much easier to replicate something that's already working than trying to figure it out by kind of shooting in the dark yourself, okay? So this is the CRM, the kind of database. It stores everything in here. And before I run it at the end, I'm gonna delete all these because I've got, I think, how many is it? Like 59 videos. Now, just before we start, I just want to mention that some of these videos are in foreign languages, right? So I'm a native English speaker. I generally just, you know, create content or all my content in the English language, right? But I do scrape content in other languages because remember, I'm using an AI agent which can translate everything, right? It can translate any language, right? Any spoken language in the world, right? So don't let that stop you. Don't let that hold you back, because there are videos you can see here that have amazing like rates. I mean, this one, which I'm not sure what language this is, I think this is Spanish, you know, has almost a 10 like rate, which is insane, right? So this is obviously doing something crazy. I remember these are videos I've scraped in the last 7 days. These are very relevant. These aren't historical videos over the last, you know, 12 months or 6 months or anything like that. It's over 7 days. So they're getting decent amount of views, and you can do a lot more here, right? You can actually filter this by the number of views overlapped with the like rate. I've just kept it very simple. Let's start the build together, okay? So the first module or node you're gonna want is the schedule trigger. And like I said earlier in this video, I scheduled this to run on like Sunday night, right? So when I'm asleep, because I only wanted to run once a week. And the reason for that is because I'm using the YouTube API, okay? So remember, there's rate limits, there's acceptable use policies. You can't scrape thousands and thousands and thousands of videos per day on the public API, okay? You're just gonna get banned, okay? So a more sensible approach is to do it like once a week. And there's plenty of videos for you, right? Because I'm gonna show you a system that can scrape like 500 to 600 videos at any time, okay? So just set this up to whatever time frame you want, okay? I'll leave that to you. And then the next module or node that you want is the YouTube video mode, okay? So bring up YouTube, and the specific function you want is get many videos, okay? So connect your YouTube up to your API inside of the Google Cloud. If you don't know how to do that, I've got a previous video to show you how to do that. So just take a look at that. But I'm gonna go into the original here, and I'm gonna show you what needs to be done, okay? So the first thing is I've actually turned return all off, okay? Because I'm recording a video and I wanna make sure that the automation doesn't run for too long, okay? But eventually, once the automation is built, I will then turn this on, okay? Because I want as many videos as I can possibly get, okay? So everything else stays the same. I've just left it at a limit of 25 because I have a few filters, so I wanna make sure that I have enough videos that get through the filter, okay? And then what I wanna do is I wanna grab this filter here, this code, okay? It's just JavaScript. I'll explain what that is, and we've got a couple of filters here, okay? So the first one is published after, and I want a filter that basically publishes after 7 days, okay? I have a very tight window of 7 days. You can do this over 14 days, over a month, 6 months. If you want my opinion, I think you should just keep the window as small as possible, because you want the most relevant content that's been posted recently, right? A video that was posted a year ago might have 1 million views, right? But you don't know what the algorithm was doing a year ago, right? Like, you don't know what it was optimizing for. There could be a lot of reasons. And you're better off just trying to replicate or trying to find content that's been posted recently, okay? So for me, 7 days is very good for that. And then for the query field, I've just put in NA10. So this is the keyword, right? What are you searching for? Now, this could be for any field, for any industry, okay? I've just put in the NA10 because I work in a no-code automation AI niche, but you can put any keyword you want in there, okay? And then for this, the region code, although I'm getting foreign videos, it could be because the account is registered in the United States, or they put the location down as United States, right? Which is possible. But I've put in the region code of the United States because I want the vast majority of the videos that I'm following, I want them to be from the United States, okay? So let's just grab this code here and leave this at 25, and then the filter, the first one is published after. Okay, and then we're gonna get the expression. Okay, so I can paste the code and then paste that in there. Again, that should return a specific date, which you know it has worked. The next one is query. So for this, I've put in any 10, but remember you can put in any keyword that you want. And then the last one is region code, okay? So I want the vast majority of my videos to come from an English-speaking country, and the United States is the biggest, right? It's the biggest market in the world, so I'm gonna stick to that. But like I said, remember, going back to the sheet here, there are some videos, like, I mean, I think this is, I'm not sure what language this is, I think it's Russian. This might be Spanish, and there's some other ones here in different languages. I think this is Vietnamese. Okay, so don't discount that, because remember, we've got an AI agent that can translate anything. Okay, so we wanna use videos that might not necessarily be in the English language, but I just need to know what they're doing, right? Like, what ideas can I take from that video, right? Because I can build anything inside of N10 or Make.com or Relevance, but if I've got an example that I know is crushing it, the language doesn't matter, okay? So we're gonna stick to the United States. And then the last thing you wanted to add is options. So I'll show you what that is. So the first one is order, and I've set that to relevance, right? The other option is date, but we already have a date, so I'm just gonna use relevance. And then the second one is the safe search. So for that, I'm just gonna leave that moderate, right? So if you wanna basically, filter out some of the more unsavory videos. I mean, in my industry, I'm not gonna have that, but in other industries, there might be content that might not be savory for your audience. You can actually, remove that and attach a filter to that, okay? And remember to test the step when you're done. So for this, I'm gonna rename it to grab videos. It's not typically scraping. Scraping is a little bit different, right? Because this is using the API. Whereas generally when I'm using scraper, like something inside of API, I'm actually, it's not within terms of service technically, right? It's actually scraping at the surface level. When you use the API, you get a lot of the metadata, and it's all within terms of service, right? Because YouTube is giving us access to their API, okay? So we're not breaking any terms of service here, okay? So let's just move this across a bit. I'm going to save the workflow, rename the workflow and save it, okay? Then the next module you want is a HTTP request module, and we're going to grab the data. So we have the videos, right? Which is this module here. You've got all the outputs here. Now we're going to grab the specific data inside of the videos, okay? So for this, I'm going to want the URL, which is a get method, because we're pulling it from Google servers. And this is the Google API for videos. So I'm going to copy that and bring up a HTTP request, which is this one here. Let's get, and then we're going to paste that in here. And then for the query parameters, we want 3 queries, okay? So the specific query parameters are the fields below. The first one is key, the second one is part, and the third one is ID. And I'll explain what they are, okay? So let's just grab this. This is my API key, okay? So send query parameters. So the first one is key, and you paste in your YouTube API key. And that is something that you grab inside of your Google Cloud account, okay? And there is a video that I've created. Have a look at my channel that shows you how you can get the API key, okay? Then the next one is part. So I'm just gonna grab what I've pasted in here. Snippet and statistics are just metrics that we can pull from the API, okay? That's all you need to know about that. And so I'll paste that. Just make sure you spell it correctly, okay? Because any misspelling will obviously create an error, okay? And then the last one is ID. And for that, we're just gonna pull the ID from the previous grab videos node, okay, which is the ID field here. And it's worked because you've got the ID, it's green, obviously, and you've got the ID here, which should match the same ID as the video ID field inside of grab videos, okay? So I'm gonna grab this and save it here, and just call this ID, okay? And then for everything else, it's the same. You just leave it as it is, okay? Remember the test step, and I'm gonna rename this to grab data. Okay, and so that's done. And then so the next module is a code module, okay? So for this, I wanna I've got some code in here, which is JavaScript. And basically what I'm telling it to do is I want it to get more specific data. And for that, I mean things like this: like rate, comment rate, views per hour, right? I can calculate these and I can get it through the API, right? Because in this automation, I'm actually filtering by the like rate, right? And remember, the like rate is the number of likes divided by the number of views. It's just a metric that helps me to really filter out the kind of undisputed champs of all the videos I'm scraping, okay? And so for that, it's going to return the title, YouTube, URL, published at, views, likes, comments, everything that you see on the CRM Google Sheets. Okay, so let's just copy this. And I'm going to paste it inside of a code module. So let's just bring this up. And we're going to run this for each item. Okay, leave it as JavaScript and then go inside of here, remove this, paste it here, close that, and then I'm just going to rename this key metrics. Because with these key metrics, I can then run an if statement, like a conditional statement, and really narrow down onto the best performing videos, right? And then that's about it. So if I go into the original, you'll see it's for each item, it's JavaScript. The code module does support Python as well, but I'm only going to use JavaScript for this, okay? And then remember to test a step, and then you'll get the output here that you can see on the right hand side of this window here, okay? So let's come out of this. Let's just move this across a little bit. And so the next thing you want to do is you want to add an if node. Okay, so an if is going to basically, as it says, route items to different branches based on true or false. Okay, and this is going to be a conditional statement. So I'm going to go inside of the original one and pull out some stuff here. So basically, I've got three. Okay, so the first one is the like rate for 3 conditions. The second one is comment rate, and the third one is views. Okay, and for this, you can play around with this, right? Depending on your industry, depending on the types of videos that are getting viral. Because if you are too aggressive, you're not going to have any outputs. And what I mean by that is you're not going to have any videos that come out of this module here. So you can see here that when I ran this automation, I had 532 items. But when I went inside of this if node, which is the filter best videos, only 474 came out, right? That were true. And that's because it's based on these conditions. So the like rate has to be greater than 2. The comment rate has to be greater than 0.5. And the views have to be greater than 2,000 views. Okay, that's just the conditions that I've set. Okay, and then convert types where required, you just turn this on. If you want to know what that is, just read the tooltip here. It'll tell you exactly why we need that, okay? So that's what I've done here. Okay, so we're going to head back over to here. I'm going to call this filter best videos and just keep it consistent. Filter best videos, rename that. And then we want 3 conditions. Okay, so 2, 3. And I'm just going to paste the JSON, the variable. So this is from the previous node, the grab data node. Okay, so the first one is like rate. So that's at the bottom here somewhere. Well, I've gone past it. Oh, in fact, sorry, it's in the key metrics node, the one previous before that, the one after grab data. So in the key metrics, you've got the like rate. Okay, which is this value here. If it's green, you know it's worked, and if the result is the same, then you've got the 3.3, 0.7, blah, 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 right? Comment rate is the same, so we're pulling the dynamic variable from the key metrics node, drag that over, and then pull it here. And then for the views, that's just this one here. Okay, the views dynamic field, you pull that over here, and then obviously I'm filtering it out. So I'll show you how to set that up. So I'm gonna grab the first one, let me grab the second one. Let me grab the third one. Okay, remember to turn on content types convert types where required to turn that to on. And then for this, we want a number, okay, which is greater than. And so for the like rate, I put 2. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste that. Oh, it hasn't seemed to have pasted the like rates here. So let me just get that again. Go to fixed. Remove this. The first one is like rate. So I just want to copy this JSON code, right? Paste that. Yeah, there you go. Change it to expressions if it doesn't work. Sometimes the fixed, when you paste into fixed, that doesn't seem to work all the time, right? So this is greater than 2. Then for the comma rate, I've set it to 0.15. Okay, and then for views, I set it to 2000. Again, these can be whatever values you want. I've just put this as an example for my automation. Okay, and then remember to test the step. And yeah, that's the first part of the automation done. So I'm just going to move this over a little bit and add the second part of it. Okay, so the second part is going to be this section here, which is the AI agent. So we're going to build this out next. I deleted everything on the Google Sheet and ran the automation again, but this time it's narrowed down to 25 items. And the reason I did that is because I want to show you what's possible with a smaller amount of data. Okay, so with 25 items, once I ran it, I still got 2 ideas right into my Slack, which went through all the filtering. Okay, so the second part of the automation is going to be the research agent, and this is the most fun I have, right? Because I absolutely love AI. I try to include AI in every automation that I build. And this has a few nodes. Okay, so the first 2 are Google Sheets nodes. The first one is an append a row. So it's going to append the CRM. Then it's going to add today's date. It's going to filter again for undisputed champs because I want the very, very best. Remember, we had an input of 25 videos and an output of only 2. Okay, so that means it's gone through a very rigorous filtering process. Okay, and that's exactly what I want because I want to copy videos. I want to use videos as inspirations that are the very best. And remember, these are videos that have been posted in the last 7 days. Okay, so they're not going to be historic videos, right? You know, something that was recorded 4 years ago, because as you know, the algorithm and everything else that goes on YouTube changes all the time. Okay, then it's going to plug into an AI agent that uses OpenAI's chat model. This is going to review all the videos, so the 2 videos that have been filtered through, and it's going to tell you what the video is about, you know, what makes it so good, and what I can do to then improve upon it, right? If I was to record the same video, what I can do to make it a little bit different. And also, this can translate any video, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's a foreign language, right? Even though I only record videos in obviously the native English language, which is what I speak, this can basically research any language, any spoken language, okay? And then it's gonna output two of those messages onto my private Slack group, which I use for clients and with my team as well, okay? So let's head over to the build, and it's gonna come out this. So what you wanna do is, let me just delete this because I was building it earlier, but where it says true, just click on this, move it across here, and then we're gonna get the Google Sheets node, okay? And the one that you want is append row in sheet. Then connect it up to the correct sheet. So for me, it's the YouTube Researcher AI sheet, and the document and the sheet name is exactly the same. And then mapping column mode is the same as the default. But for everything else, we're gonna need some fields, okay? So this one is grabbing the ID from the grab data node, okay, which is the HTTP request. Okay, so if you look inside of the HTTP request in the previous node, it's grabbing this ID here. It's a dynamic variable, okay, and you know it's worked because it's got the correct ID here, as you can see. Okay, and that's how you confirm. That's a confirmation step, right? Obviously, you're gonna test that at every stage, which is good practice. So I just change the expression and then paste this here. Okay. The next one that I want, and now for the rest of it, you can just map it over. Okay, so title is title from key metrics, right? YouTube URL is YouTube URL from key metrics. Views is views. Likes is likes. Comments is comments. Like rate is like rate. Comment rate is comment rate. Added views per hour is views per hour, and then the added date is just a string that I've created. Okay, so let's just copy these first, and then we can move on. So title is going to be title. Let's just change this expression, right? And then for YouTube URL, let's just grab this one here. And again, you're going to map this from the previous node, okay? I'm just doing this because I'm not running it inside of this one, inside of the build. And then this one here, published at, we're just going to grab that. We're just going to do all this. Tedious, I know, but you only have to do this once, okay? Once this is built, you don't have to do this again. Views, let's grab this. Change this to expression. And then likes. Change it to expression. Comments. Comments, expressions. Almost done here, it's got 2 or 3 more to do. So like rate. comment rate. Views per hour. And then for the added date, I'm gonna take this string, okay, and I just add today's date, right? So when you see it below here, it's just today's date, and that's all there is to that, okay? And then just change that to expression. So this has worked, right? Because it's not pulling a dynamic field. It's not. It doesn't need another node. This is just a script inside of N10 that I can run a function, right? And it just needs to run today's date. That's what I need it for. And then the last one is the video description. So again, that's from grab data. And if you scroll down here, you see the description field, and that's what we need, okay? So I'm just gonna grab this, head back over here, change it to expression, and then I'm gonna say, change this to update sheet. Okay, and then that one's done. So we'll head back over here, and then we're gonna add the next one, which is this one here. So if I go back to the build, the original one, today's rows, let's go inside of here. So this is a get rows. Okay, and there's a value in here that I'll show you for the column date, right? Because we're going to filter for that. Okay, so let's just get another Google Sheet, and this time it's going to be get rows a sheet, and then just connect to the correct document and the correct sheet name. Okay, then we're going to add a filter. Right, and the column is the added date column, okay? And then I'm just gonna grab this for the value. So I'm only gonna work with today's, the latest scrape, right? Or the latest date, okay? And then, yeah, that's it. That's all you need for it. There's nothing else here. I thought there was another combine, but there isn't. So I'm just gonna add this and change the name, today's date, and we're done. Okay, and it's green, it's white because this is just a function, okay? So we're filtering it by today's date. Let's just line this up, make it look a bit tidy. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to add another if module, if node. And for this, I basically taken it a step further, and I'm saying that I want the like rate, which is this value here, I want it to be greater than 5. Okay, so I want the top of the tree, the very best videos. Okay, so let's just head over to the build. We're going to add another if node. Okay, and the value is going to be this here, which is the like rate. So remember, we're going to get that from the key metrics node. Okay, it comes from here, and you see it's worked, it's green. So I'm going to paste that here, and then for the value, we're going to do number greater than, and then I set it to 5. Okay, so I put it to 5. You can put it to whatever is relevant for your industry. Maybe 5 is too aggressive, maybe it's not aggressive enough, who knows, but just test it, right? And you can see here that once I've outputted it, it's picked up two videos that meet this criteria, okay? And for this, I'm gonna call it Undisputed Champs. Okay, and make sure that you have convert types where required on. Okay, and remember to test the step, okay? So yeah, we're almost done. Just move this over here, and then I'm gonna move this over to this side, and then we're gonna extend the true route here. And remember, this is now the AI agent. Okay, so this is where we are in the automation. Extracted true, so we're gonna add an AI agent to the true tree here. So let's just bring up the AI agent. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab the prompt from inside of here. Okay, so there's a couple of things in here. There's a system prompt, but there's also a define below. Okay, so the definition of that is this here. So we're gonna basically grab the title, the description, the video URL, like rate, and today's date. And that's what it's gonna use for the message inside of Slack, right? It's gonna use all this, and it's gonna output in a specific format. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this, head over to this here, so source for prompt defined below, and then just bring up expression, open the window so you can see it, This is obviously going to be green like you see it here because it's going to be mapping the previous nodes. So first one is title, video description, video URL, like rate, and the date added. Okay, and that's all from the previous nodes. Okay, and then I'm gonna come out of this, and then the next thing I want to do is you want to add a system prompt. Okay, and this is the prompt that I've created for this. Okay, so you are a YouTube specialist with deep expertise in content trends, audience engagement, and video optimization. Your goal is to analyze a selected video and generate a structured, insightful response to help creators refine their approach and develop unique content inspired by it. Okay, so this is what the prompt is going to use to then output the message that I get inside of Slack, and I'll show what the message looks like. Okay, once I'm done, your response should adhere to the following structure: headers or bullets for capital letters, use bullet points where appropriate, separate sections with divided lines for clarity, do not bold or italic. I mean, this is just my way of doing it, right? Like if you want to do it in a specific way, just put that into the prompt. And then it's going to have an output say, hey Sanj, here's your video inspiration for today. Okay, and the output is going to look like this: the top video of the week. It's going to have the title, description, the video link, and the link to view ratio, which is everything that I fed it in the define below variables. Okay, and second part is what makes this video successful, right? Key takeaways of the video success, right? And the AI is going to do this for me. It's going to review it for me, right? I'm not doing this. And then how can you adapt this for your content? So for my content, right? New is going to be a title idea. Now, I typically don't use this because I try and I do spend a bit of time on the titles, the hooks, because that's a big part of your success on YouTube. So I do spend a bit of time there, but I do use it as an idea, right? Like an idea generation. I'll play around with it. I'll move some words around. I'll add some other different words. You know, I'll put it into ChatGPT to see what ChatGPT can come with. So I do spend a bit more time in there, but it's definitely a source of ideas. So you don't need to use this as it is, but you can actually use it as an idea, right? So content enhancement ideas, right? So what else can I do? And in some videos, I've actually done that, right? Like I've actually used Airtable instead of something like Google Sheets because it gives me more functionality inside of Airtable, right? I've used a different type of AI kind of approach than what the original, had, because the AI has given me that idea. Also, I've got ideas of my own, but this will definitely spark some ideas, some idea generation inside your head. If you're hitting like a kind of brick wall and you need some guidance, this will definitely give it to you. Okay. So I'm going to copy this and put it in as a system prompt on the build. Okay, so come out of this, and then we're gonna want a system message, and I'm gonna put this in expression so you can see it in the bigger window. Paste that here, and you're good to go. Okay, and you can call this whatever you want. I think I just left it as AI agent. Did I? Yeah. Okay. And then the last thing you want to do for the AI agent is you need to connect an AI chat model. Okay, so I typically use the OpenAI ChatGPT for this because that's what I've always used and I pay for it. So make sure you connect your account up through the API. That's done through, if you go to platform.openai.com, if you got some credits in there, just top it up with that kind of $5. You can then get the API key. It's in the API section, and then you just connect and create a new connection here. You just put in the API key here. Okay, I've already done that, as you can see. And then you can certainly use for a mini. I mean, I'm still using it. It's been months. I'm still using it because it's very cost effective. It's very affordable. It doesn't use that many tokens, and it's fast, right? It's really quick, which is what I want, right? Like there's some operations where I needed to, process it very quickly. And yeah, that's it. That's all you need to do for this part. Okay, and then the last part is the Slack. Okay, so you want to click on Slack and then just type a message. You want to send a message. Okay, connect to your account. The only thing that you need to worry about here is just make sure it's a send operation. So make sure you connect it to the right node. Simple text message, and you just grab that from the previous node. Okay, so if I go inside of here, you'll see that it's inside of a channel called YouTube Research. And then for the simple message, I'm just going to grab, for the simple text message, I'm just going to grab the AI agent text. Okay, so the output from the previous node. All right, so I'm going to grab this and just make sure you select the correct channel name. Okay, and that's it. That's all you need to do. So once that's run, so you can see here, if I go back to the original, you'll see the output. This is what it looks like in the channel, right? And if I come out of here, I'll show you the Slack. Right, this is the Slack channel. So here you can see that it's pulled in the video preview. Some of these are not in English, but it's fine. You can see that the content that my AI agent has outputted is always going to be in English. Okay, this one's Russian, I think. Let's find an English one. There are some in here, so let's see. This is German. Yeah, so this is, I think this one's English, right? So your n8n workflows with folders, right? Sounds very basic. I mean, you know, with the title and stuff, but look at the link to view ratio. It's above 5, right? Which is insane. Very, very underrated video. Could seem boring, but to your audience, you know, they love it. And clearly the content is great, the title is great, thumbnail is great, and it's a very engaging video, which is why it has a high link to view ratio. Okay, so that's it for the automation today. Hopefully you get some value from this. I use it. I run this every single week. So every Sunday night this will run, and every Monday I've got at least 20 ideas that I can review and record my own versions of it. Okay, I can build it. I can add something new to it. I can take something away. I can make it better, and it's all done by my AI sniper agent. Okay, so thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Like the video, share the video, and leave your comments below. If there's anything else you want clearing up, if there's an automation that you want to see being built in the next video, just leave it and I'll respond to every single one. Thanks again and have a great day.